Some of the best-selling carbon wheels on AliExpress, Elitewheels ENT, the most highly reviewed carbon wheels out there. And just a few months ago, they released this upgraded version, which you can see behind me on my Trek Damani, the ENT 2.0, making them better in almost every way compared with the originals and keeping the price at a very affordable $350. It's maybe no surprise that they've already sold more than 1,000 units on AliExpress, and with over 250 reviews, averaging 4.9 stars out of 5. So, are these carbon wheels all the hype they're getting? In a word, yes, but there's one big caveat that you should know before going ahead and buying them. I'll talk about that a bit later on in the video, but as for now, I've ridden more than 1,500 kilometers with these Elitewheels ENT 2.0, and I've got them on my Trek Damani SL5 that I bought about 4 months ago because I'm training for my Ironman 70.3. Anyway, I went to my bike dealer and I said, I want to buy some carbon wheels for this bike. How much will they set me back? And he said, for a good pair of zip carbon wheels, you're looking at least $1,200, which kind of sucked because I just spent $3,500 on a new bike. I didn't want to spend a further $1,200 just on some carbon wheels. Anyway, long story short, I walked out of the bike shop scratching my head thinking whether or not to spend another $1,200 on wheels. So I went online, I did some research on Reddit, of course, and I found so many people raving about Elitewheels, not just about the ENT model, but other models that they sell too. And so I ended up giving these ENT 2.0s from AliExpress a shot, and I'm really glad I did, because I probably saved myself almost $1,000 if I was to buy the zip wheels. Actually, because I had a discount code, I think it was a Black Friday offer, I ended up just paying $315, which for a decent pair of carbon wheels is an absolute steal. And by the way, this video is not sponsored. I bought these wheels with my own money, therefore, unlike some other reviews, I'm going to give you the advantages and the disadvantages of riding with these wheels over the last 1,500 kilometers. I'm also not going to go through the spec sheet because you can read that online. I'm going to go over the everyday, what they're actually like when you upgrade your bike and ride with them. And I do have an affiliate link in the description below if you do want to check them out for yourself. It is important that you buy directly from Elitewheels' official AliExpress store. And again, like I say, I'll drop a link in the description below to these exact wheels in their official AliExpress store. ENT versus ENT 2.0. Firstly, the upgrades, because there was so much hype over the original ENTs, but what was actually upgraded with the 2.0 version to make them even better? Because the 2.0s are quite new, so there's not that much information about them. These are the specification improvements. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm not going to just read you through the list because you can read those yourself online. I want to get into what the specification upgrades actually mean in the real world riding. There are 3 main upgrades from the originals to the 2.0s. Firstly, and this is in Elitewheels' own words, the efficiency of rear wheel transmission has increased by 15%. Compared to the previous model, the ENT Disc 2.0 features a 27% increase in effective contact area. In real world terms, they're saying that you should notice the wheel feels more responsive when you push hard on the pedals, so less energy feels wasted when you're riding, and the wheels should feel more solid and stable, especially during hard efforts compared with the original ENT wheels. They then go on to say the ENT 2.0 hub has been improved in that the increased area reduces contact stress, leading to decreased wear and energy loss, thus enhancing gear transmission efficiency. With the larger area, the transmission exhibits improved resistance to impacts during operation, enhancing overall stability. In layman's terms, that basically means the wheels should be more durable and last longer. More of your pedaling power actually goes into moving you forward, and the wheels should feel more stable, especially during hard efforts or rough roads. And the third improvement is that the tyres are 20% more laterally rigid. Imagine taking your wheel and trying to push it side to side. Lateral rigidity is how much the wheel resists this sideways flexing. And 20% increase means the wheel is significantly stiffer from side to side. In real world riding, this means when you're sprinting or climbing out of the saddle, the wheel flexes less side to side, therefore more of your power goes straight into forward motion instead of being lost in wheel flex. The bike feels more precise and responsive, and the wheel feels more stable during cornering. So in a nutshell, the ENT 2.0s improve your riding efficiency by having more power go from the pedals to your wheels, and they're more durable compared with the original ENTs. And since the originals and upgraded 2.0s are around the same price, it makes sense to me to just go for the 2.0s. Saying that, I'm sure the upgrades all sound good on paper, but whether you would actually notice these improvements is another thing, because of course these improvements will be very incremental. When I bought the Trek Domani, they came with some tubeless ready Bontrager Paradigm SL rims. They weren't too bad, but they are aluminium, not carbon, quite heavy, and definitely budget rims. And they were paired with the Bontrager R3 Hardcase Light TLR Road tyre. Again, not bad tyres, but there's definitely better tyres on the market. So I obviously changed the stock rims to the Elitewheels ENT 2.0, and I also changed the stock tyres to Pirelli P0 race TLR tyres 28mm. I actually wanted 32mm rather than 28, and road tyres rather than race tyres that are a little bit more durable, because I value comfort rather than all-out speed, hence why I bought an endurance bike rather than a race bike. But the shop only had these tyres in stock at the time. Firstly, and this is very superficial, maybe you care about this, maybe you don't, but they do make the bike look a lot better with these 50mm wheels compared with the stock wheels. If I wanted 50mm wheels on this Trek Domani from stock, I'd have to upgrade from the Domani SL5 to the Domani SL7, which would set me back another $2,000. And for me, spending $6,500 on a road bike, it's not going to happen anytime soon. And I do like how these wheels, they do have branding on them, these kind of big Elite logos, but because the branding is gloss black and the rim is matte black, it's not too garish compared to carbon wheels of some other manufacturers and models. Secondly, and this was by far the biggest improvement, the bike rode so much smoother than the stock wheels. Now, this is also taking into account that I upgraded the rims and the tyres. So of course, the tyres played a big role in making the bike ride smoother. The best way I can describe it is like I went from a bike without suspension to riding on a bike with suspension. The new wheels and tyres just ironed out all the small bumps in the road. I noticed it literally within 5 seconds of getting on the bike. That for me made the $315 I spent on the wheels and about $90 or so that I spent on tyres worth every single penny. It really did transform how the bike rides. In terms of speed, I honestly can't comment too much on this. I'm not a fast rider. I'm sure the higher stiffness to weight ratio meant better power transfer, and the more aero 50mm rims made me more dynamic. But I would be lying if I said I noticed any speed improvements, even though the carbon wheels did probably make me faster. I was a bit concerned moving up to 50mm rims in terms of being buffeted by crosswinds. I've ridden more than 1,500 kilometers on these wheels, and I could probably count on one hand how many times I've noticed the crosswind actually push me slightly to the side. So not a big deal. And also in terms of durability, there are no visible chips, cracks, marks anywhere on the wheels after 1,500 kilometers of riding. There's also a 1,000-day warranty on these wheels, which obviously I haven't had to use and hopefully won't have to use. Moving from aluminium wheels to carbon wheels made the bike a bit lighter. Again, did I notice it? Not really. The Trek Domani is quite a heavy bike anyway. So sure, the bike is probably slightly better at climbing, but I could probably go on a diet for a week and save more weight than the weight that these carbon wheels saved me. I think one of the biggest issues that Elite Wheels as a company is having to deal with is their reputation as a Chinese company in the Western market. So Chinese companies often have a reputation of cheap disposable products, poor quality control, poor customer service, but it's very clear that Elite Wheels is doing all it can to remove that stereotype. So one of the latest moves they made in 2024, they became the official wheel partner of GCN.
So we're proud to be able to call Elite Wheels one of our sponsors now.
And I bet Elite Wheels had to shell out quite a lot of money for that sponsorship slot. Now, I love GCN. I could binge watch their videos on YouTube all day long. There are two things that really stands out from a business perspective about GCN. Number one, they really care about branding. So next time you watch a GCN video, just count how many times you see a GCN logo. It's on their YouTube thumbnail, it's on their jerseys, it's on their helmets, it's on the subscribe button in the bottom right corner. It's everywhere. Number two, relating to branding, they really care about their public perception. The way they communicate on their YouTube videos is very diplomatic, it's very politically correct, which makes sense. The hosts of the YouTube videos, they're carrying the weight of a very valuable brand on their shoulders. They would not officially partner with a company unless they've thoroughly vetted that company inside and out.
And we believe in the products that Elite Wheels are making.
So if Elite Wheels gets GCN's stamp of approval, then it certainly gets mine too. And one thing I will say about Elite Wheels is their customer service is very good. I'll be completely honest with you here. I actually ordered the wheels at $350, and then the next day they had an offer, a $35 coupon code, and I was like, damn, I just missed that. So I contacted their customer service very cheekily and I asked them if I could apply that $35 code as my order hasn't shipped yet. And they said that they can't just add the code because I've already placed the order, but I can cancel the order and reorder it with the code. So they were very responsive and helpful, even though I was being a bit cheeky by asking to apply that $35 code. Quality control also seems to be very good, at least according to the 250 plus reviews on AliExpress and all the talk on Reddit and other forums about these wheels. And I can't talk about these wheels without giving you a demo of what the Freehub sounds like, so give me 1 second. It sounds, in my opinion at least, very satisfying indeed. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows with Elite Wheels. You have the usual cons with buying from AliExpress. Firstly, the delivery times. It took about 4 weeks for my wheels to arrive. Of course, your mileage may vary and you might get hit with customs too. So this can be anywhere from 20% to 40% of the value of the item depending on your country's custom charges. I mean, if you can order these wheels for $350 and you get hit with a 40% custom charge, which is on the higher end, you'll still get them for $490, which is still a bargain for a good pair of carbon wheels. Also, if you did want to return them for whatever reason, maybe you ordered the wrong size or there was a manufacturer's defect, then obviously sending them all the way back to China is probably not the easiest process compared with buying a set of carbon wheels at your local bike shop where you can just send them back very easily. Another con, these are slightly heavier, as you might expect, than more premium carbon wheels that cost $1,000 plus. So if you care about shaving off a few hundred grams extra and you have a bigger budget, going with either the more premium models from Elite Wheels or other well-known Western brands like Zip or DT Swiss might be a better option. I believe also the more expensive brands, they often come with a crash warranty, which may be useful for you. I've never crashed my bike, touch wood. I won't crash my bike. I buy from AliExpress quite regularly, but these are by far the most expensive item I've ever bought from there. But overall, I would highly recommend them if you're looking for a set of budget carbon wheels. I'll drop a link in the description to these exact AliExpress pair that I bought from their official AliExpress store. That's important. And if you like this video, I made another video where I go over 15 other AliExpress cycling upgrades. You can click on this card right there and I will see you over there.